The Quran frequently mentions animals as signs of Allah's creative power, wisdom, and mercy. They are presented as part of the natural world that submits to God and provides lessons for humanity. Here are the animals mentioned in a positive or neutral context in the Quran, along with the themes and lessons associated with them. Animals mentioned as signs of God's creation and wisdom. These animals are cited as evidence of the Creator's power, design, and provision for His creation. Animal and the Quranic context and significance. The bee and Nahl. Surah 16 is named the bee and Nahl. And your Lord inspired the bee, make your homes in the mountains, the trees, and in what people construct. Then feed on all kinds of fruit and follow the ways your Lord has made easy for you. From their bellies comes a drink of varying colors, in which there is healing for people. Surely in this is a sign for those who ponder. 16, 68-69. Significance. An example of divine inspiration, wahi, to an animal, resulting in a product, honey, that provides healing for humanity. A symbol of industry, community, and natural provision. The spider, Al-Ankabut. Surah 29 is named the spider, Al-Ankabut. The parable of those who take protectors other than Allah is that of a spider spinning a house. The flimsiest of houses is the house of a spider, if only they knew. 29:41. Significance. While the parable is about the weakness of false gods, the spider itself is a marvel of creation, and its intricate web is used as a powerful metaphor. The ant and Naml. Surah 27 is named the ant and Naml. In the story of Prophet Solomon, an ant warns its colony, "O ants! Go into your homes so that Solomon and his armies do not crush you unknowingly." 27:18. Significance. This demonstrates the complexity and communication God has placed in the animal kingdom. It shows God's mercy extends to all creatures and highlights the importance of avoiding harm, even unintentionally. The camel, Al-Baqarah. Do they not look at the camels, how they are created? 88:17. Significance. The camel is presented as a direct sign, ayah, of God's creative power and wisdom, perfectly adapted to its environment. It was a familiar and vital animal for the Arabs, making the sign immediately relevant to them. The cow, Al-Baqarah. Surah 2 is named the cow, Al-Baqarah. The story in verses 67-73 involves the command to sacrifice a cow. While the context is a test of the Israelites' obedience, the cow itself is a source of purification and a means to reveal a truth, a murder. Significance. It highlights the principle of obeying God's commands without excessive questioning. The whale, as Safat. In the story of Prophet Jonah, Yunus, had he not been one of those who glorify Allah, he would have remained in its belly until the day of resurrection. 37:143-144. Significance. The whale is an instrument of God's mercy and a place of repentance for Jonah. It serves as a refuge and a lesson, leading to his salvation after he prays for forgiveness. The bird, various. Do they not see the birds held poised in the sky? Nothing holds them up except Allah. There truly are signs in this for those who believe. 16:79. In the story of Abraham, Abraham is shown the kingdom of the heavens and the earth and is told to take 4 birds, cut them, and place parts on separate hills. When he calls them, they come flying back to him. 2:260. This is a lesson on the reality of resurrection. Significance. Birds are a constant reminder of God's sustaining power and a metaphor for the soul and resurrection. The gnat, tiny creature, al-Baqarah. Surely Allah does not shy away from using the parable of a gnat or something larger. 2:26. Significance. Even the smallest and most insignificant creature in the eyes of humans is a valid subject for a Quranic parable, demonstrating that no aspect of creation is beneath God's notice. Livestock, Al-An'am. Surah 6 is named the cattle, Al-An'am, repeatedly mentioned as a blessing from God. And indeed, there are lessons for you in the livestock. We give you drink from what is in their bellies, and you have many other benefits in them, and from them you eat. 23:21. Significance. A primary source of sustenance, transportation, and clothing, showcasing God's provision for human needs. Animals in the stories of the prophets. These animals play specific, positive roles in the narratives of the prophets. Animal and the Quranic context and amp. Significance. The she-camel of Saleh. The she-camel was a miraculous sign sent to the people of Thamud. They were commanded not to harm her, but they hamstrung and killed her, leading to their destruction. Significance. The camel was a direct test from God and a sign of His power and patience. Example, 7:73 and 11:64 and 91:14. The raven, crow. In the story of Cain and Abel, then Allah sent a crow scratching the ground, to show him how to bury the corpse of his brother. He cried, "Woe to me! Was I not even able to be like this crow and bury the corpse of my brother?" And he became full of regrets. 5:31. Significance. The raven is a teacher sent by God, demonstrating a practical and moral lesson to a grieving and remorseful human. The donkey. In the story of a man who was resurrected after being dead for 100 years, look at the bones of your donkey, how we assemble them and then clothe them with flesh. 2:259. Significance. The donkey's resurrection is used as a tangible, immediate example to demonstrate God's power to resurrect the dead. The hoopoe, Hudhud. In the story of Prophet Solomon, the hoopoe is a valued member of his army who acts as a scout and brings crucial intelligence. But the hoopoe stayed not long and said, "I have found out something you do not know. I come to you from Sheba with sure news." 27:22. The hoopoe informs Solomon about the Queen of Sheba and her people who worship the sun. Significance. The hoopoe represents knowledge, communication, and the fact that God can grant understanding and speech to any of His creatures. It is a positive example of a creature serving a prophet. The fish, Al-Kahf. In the story of Moses and Khidr, the fish is the sign that marks the location where Moses is to meet his teacher. When the fish miraculously comes to life and jumps into the sea, it signals they have reached their destination. 18:61 and 63. Significance. The fish is a divinely appointed guide and a miraculous sign leading to spiritual knowledge. The wolf. In the story of Prophet Joseph, he is accused of being eaten by a wolf. While the wolf is used falsely in the brother's lie, it is not portrayed as inherently evil. Jacob later says, "Rather, your souls have made a matter seem decorous to you." 12:18, shifting the blame from the animal to human deceit. Significance. The wolf is part of the natural order, and the story focuses on human morality, not the animal's nature. Summary of positive themes. Signs of God, Ayat. Most animals are mentioned as signs for a people who understand, demonstrating God's power, wisdom, and mercy in creation. Provision and sustenance. Livestock, bees, and camels highlight how God provides for human needs. Moral and spiritual lessons. Animals are central to parables about the fragility of false gods, spider, the importance of community, bee, ant, and the reality of resurrection, birds, donkey. Agents of God's will. Animals like the whale, raven, and hoopoe act as direct instruments of God's mercy, guidance, and plan for the prophets and humanity. In the Quranic worldview, animals are not mere resources but are conscious communities, UMAM, in their own right, glorifying God and serving as profound reminders for humanity.